Hello, my fellow donuts, and welcome back to 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. I guess let's just get right to the game. This is kind of weird looking picture. Do you think it's an abstract painting or something? It looks kind of like a demon with an elephant-like nose, sucking on a human being's brain. What? You have some imagination there. Where the hell did that come from? What's her brain made of? Candies. And elephants. And corpses, probably. Can't say I'd mind finding out a little more about what goes on in there. Oh. You mean her head? Or the picture? Never mind. Noah, can you... Just every time I start recording, you decide to come to me, right? Really? She was sleeping all the time I was sitting in the front of the computer for like 2 hours, and now she decided to come. I hate this cat sometimes. I love you. That vase looks expensive. I wonder how much we could get for it. Greedy? Are you gonna steal it? Hey, what that laugh was supposed to mean? Come on, Noah, just don't get in my way. Sit there, okay? Yeah, you can sit here. Sorry about that, guys. I know it's annoying every time I start recording. It happens. She comes. Okay, we found matches. That's cool. I just had to bring her down to the floor. I'm sorry. Okay, Junpei looked down blankly at what he was holding, then up at June. Oh yeah, how's your fever? You feeling better now? Yes, I'm feeling fine. June certainly looked fine. Junpei held his hand on her forehead. That was probably pretty loud. I'm really sorry about that. Forgotten to turn off the sound. Okay. I really hope no one will bother us anymore. Okay. It seemed her fever really had gone down. Are you worried about me? If you are heading for the training, it doesn't really matter how you answer here. But I'm not a douche. So, yeah, I guess I am. June blushed and giggled. By the way, Jumpy? How did you end up here? What do you mean? I told you earlier, didn't I? Yeah, you can't know the reason, right? There was a man with a gas mask when you got home at night. You inhaled some white smoke and passed out. Then you woke up, you were on D-Dock. Yeah, that's it. But is that really the truth? Huh? Jumpy, are you hiding something from me? No. Why would I? Well, if you think about it, this is awfully suspicious. I mean, why would two childhood friends bump into each other in a place like this? Hey, I could ask you the same thing. Are you hiding something? What would I hide? Well, I don't know anything. I mean, you're hiding it. How would I know? You mean like the number of men I have dated? Yeah, of course, that's the only information I need from you. Junpei's heart stumbled over itself. Do you want to know? He had to admit he was a little curious. Don't worry. She smiled at him. Only 18. Wow. Talking about train wreck. Times 0. Yeah, I guess I just haven't met Mr. Right yet. June looked a little embarrassed and scratched the back of her head in the desperate attempt to seem nonchalant. Junpei coughed quietly in much the same way. Anyway, I'm not hiding anything. Just like you, Jumpy. That's good to know, I guess. When I woke up, I was on the deck. Well, you do have a point. I mean, why did Zero pick us? We haven't seen each other since elementary school. Okay. June nodded, and for a few moments she had the faraway look of someone in deep thought. Look for what connects the victims. That will lead you to the culprit. Do you remember Seven saying something like that? Yeah, I do. So? Well, that's what I'm saying. I think this must all have something to do with a classmate of ours. You got any ideas who it might be? No, nothing. Oh. Well, if it had something to do with school, then it could be one of our teachers, or maybe the principal. Or the janitor, or the lunch lady. No, I can barely remember any of them. Yeah, I know. Junpei went back to searching feeling, unpleasant and confused. Elementary school. Was there anything strange that had happened in elementary school? As he searched the room, he continued to rack his brain. Okay. This isn't a painting, it's a map? It looks like a map on the ship's interior. Oh, this is a great find. I think it'll be really useful. Let's take it with us. It is now possible to use the map screen. Junpei took one last look at the map, then folded it up and slid it back into his pocket. Is this a bed? A kinda strange looking bed. June looked up as he closed it. This ship is bigger than I thought. Yeah, it's probably about 900 feet long. Must be one of those fancy cruise ships. Cruise. Course, it doesn't really look like a cruise ship. Everything in here is really retro. Even if it's some sort of style choice, there's just... Oh, sorry. Too much. Do you remember what Zero said? On April 14th, 1912, the famous ocean liner Titanic crashed into the iceberg. After remaining afloat for 2 hours and 40 minutes, it sank beneath the waters of the North Atlantic. Do you think maybe this boat and the Titanic have something to do with each other? That's a good point. I'd hope he wouldn't mention it if there wasn't a reason. Junpei took a moment to look around the room. Do you think this boat is actual? Probably more likely a replica. A replica? Yeah. You know, like a copy of actual boat. Who on earth would make something like that? Fans? Crazy Titanic fans? No way. Do you even know how much money that would take? No idea. But all they've gotta do is break even. You know? Break even? Yeah. They could use it as a cruise ship. Climb aboard a piece of history, sail around the world in the resurrected Titanic. Hell, with a marketing like that, they'd probably make more customers than they'd know what to do with. Do you really think people would want to ride on a ship with such an ominous past? Yeah, I don't really think so. It's the site of the worst accident in the history. Over 1,500 people died. I wouldn't be surprised if you'd get a curse just for going. A curse, huh? Jumpy, do you believe in that sort of thing? You know, curses and stuff? Well, I kinda do. Again, it doesn't really matter here. You can answer the way you want. Yeah, well, I guess so, to a certain extent. Jumpy scratched his temple. What about you? Wait, what? Nah, I guess that's kind of a dumb question. Yeah, I do believe in curses. In fact, I think it was a curse that sunk the Titanic. What? A curse sunk the Titanic. The curse of the Egyptian mummy. What? Junpei couldn't understand how June had maintained a straight face to say that. Supposedly the Titanic carried the mummy of the priestess Amon-Ra, which was stolen from a pyramid. And they say that the mummy had a history. Everyone involved with it died mysterious deaths. Come on, I'm sure you have heard of it before. Never. Those who open the coffin will be forever cursed. Haven't you ever heard that one? That one? So you're saying the Titanic sank because of the curse? That's right. June's eyes had lit up with excitement like a child with a new toy. That mummy, the priestess, supposedly she was special. What do you mean? Well, supposedly she was really pretty. Pretty? Yes. But she was a mummy. That's right. She wasn't all shriveled up or rotten or anything. She looked just like she was alive. Oh, I get it. I don't. How is it even possible? And she's still dead. It's creepy. It's that thing, I don't remember the name, where your body turns into some kind of wax. If a dead body is put in the right sort of environment, the fat in it turns into something kind of like candle wax, right? And yes, saponification. But that's not what it was, huh? That's not it. She wasn't wax. Then what is it? They say that she was frozen. What? Frozen? That's right. The whole body was frozen solid. You know how a human body is more than 60% water? Well, all of that water was frozen. The story says that from the time of its discovery all the way through to when it got put on the Titanic, and even though it was carried through the desert, her body never melted. June and Junpei talked a little more and then went back to their investigation, but even as they did, his mind went back to what she told him. Ice that wouldn't melt, even in the desert. Could such a thing really exist? Not even if it did. It wouldn't really be ice anymore, would it? The more he thought about it, the more his head hurt, like he'd eaten his ice cream too fast. Okay. Can't blame you, ice cream is so delicious. Dresser key. Okay. Do you think it's a key to the dresser? Well, it says dresser key, but I found it in the drawer. Ah, whatever. This is the mirror for the dresser. And now she's playing with her hair. Does she even realize she's doing that? Hey, I don't have time for that. Come on, it's not like there's anyone here you need to impress. Yes, there is. Who? What? Why are you so quiet all of a sudden? Ah, forget it, Jumpy. Ah, he's so clueless, it's almost cute. This is very interesting. Okay. I cannot do anything here, I guess. That's the bathroom wall. There are square tiles all over it. Yeah, I can see that much. Okay. Shower curtains, huh? Let's try closing it. Now I can see the full expanse of the shower curtain in all its waterproof glory. There's nothing. Suspicious. It's just a normal old shower curtain. A narrow shower. And I'm standing in it with June. Oh. Embarrassing? This is awkward. Kinda. And cute. You guys are cute. You should be together. They will be, right? Time to open the curtain. That's all, really? Oh well. Okay. Okay, let's go back. Jumpy, where are you going? I was thinking of going over to Lotus's room. Why? What do you mean, why? I'm just gonna go check up on them. Is there something wrong with that? Well, no. Come back soon. Wait, you can go with me. I'll leave the rest to you. Sure, but if you just press on the door too early without doing the things I've done, she will say like, come on, it's too early, we just need to investigate here and it's like too much of a job for just me. Interesting. Leave it to me. Alright, off to the other room. Oh, so we are already in another room? That's interesting. It's a tile with a black and white pattern on it. There's a... oh, Santa, hey. Square tile in this frame. I can see that much? It's glued to there quite well. I don't think you can take it out. Do we have to find... I believe we will have to find more tiles. The candle with a candlestick. This might come in handy. Yeah, I got that. I guess we can combine it with matches. Bingo. Awesome, with the light from the candle, maybe we can take a look around over there. It actually looks to me pretty bright out there, but you actually have to do this. Just saying. But it gets so hard when I hold it. I wanna put it down. Well, why don't you set it on the top of the dresser? It's flat there and at least it won't fall over. Oh yeah, good idea. Oh, hey, got pretty bright. Not I. Now we can look around a little. Yeah, I guess. Can I open it? Wait, this is the mirror for the dresser. Damn straight. Nothing weird about it though. Yes, it worked. Bingo, one of the tiles. There's a picture of an old cruise ship. Is it the Titanic? Curtain, huh? We saw curtain in the shower, but I believe we will need this in another shower, right? We'll see. Huh? Hey, what the hell? It just got dark all of a sudden. Maybe the candle got blown out? We should go see. There's a candlestick covered in melted wax on top of the dresser. Hey, what's that? What's this? The top of the candlestick looks kinda weird. You're right. It's all bumpy. Candlestick key, huh? This is smart. Okay. Well, this is a display case. Check it out. Displays and shit look really expensive. Do you wanna take a look? One of the tiles. I think I've seen it somewhere. Yeah, I know. Kinda looks like the one we saw in the other room. Yeah. Oh, there's a lock. Let's see if this candlestick key will do anything. Yes. It opened. Oh, it was equipped with that key? I guess that's why it worked. Alright, pull that shit open. Okay. Swearing was pretty much unnecessary, but okay. So we have to find one more. Hey Jumpy, you got a minute? Santa had shown up out of nowhere and gave Jumpy no small start. Here, take this. Santa pulled something out of his pocket. It looked like a bookmark. It had a 4-leaf clover in it. What is this? I found it in between some of the cushions on the sofa. Pretty sure it ain't gonna be any help to us, but I figured we might as well hang onto it anyway. I have no idea why would you even take this. Then why don't you hold on to it? Santa gave him a wry smile. You know what I hate most in the world? I got 4 things. Hope, faith, love, and luck. Okay, then why did you even have an idea to bring it with you? Damn straight. And you hate these things? Yes. You got a problem with that? Not really, but... Jimpy tried to figure out how best to phrase what he wanted to say. What does a bookmark have to do with any of that? Santa scratched the back of his ear and looked awkward. Well, see, each leaf on the 4-leaf clover has a meaning to it, okay? And that meaning is pretty much those 4 words. It's like a flower language. Well, I guess it's not a flower, is it? So a leaf language, I guess. Yeah, you could call them leaf words. Leaf words? What are you drunk? Jumpy looked at the bookmark. So yeah, I want you to take it, okay? Just touching it gives me the creeps. Take the damn thing, alright? Santa pretended to shiver with disgust and shoved the bookmark into Junpei's confused hands. Junpei? What do you want to do? Again, for the training, you have to take it. So, take it. Decided to take it. After all, why shouldn't he? Alright, sure, I'll take it. He shoved the thing into his pocket and gave Santa a last, confused look. Phew, man, I feel a lot better now. The thing was a real pain, you know. That was really strange to me. I have no idea why do you really need it. Well, later you will use it. Actually, you will give it to someone, but I don't really understand it. Do you really hate those 4 words that much? Yeah, well, they can all betray you, you know. Hope, faith, love, even your destiny. What had happened to Santa? Junpei wondered. How had he become such a bitter person? For a moment they looked at each other. Well, that's not my only reason. What? That's not the only reason I hate the 4-leaf clover. I just can't bring myself to like the number 4. What, worried about the 4 horsemen? Nah, come on man, that's just silly. Maybe back in the dark ages that kind of crap scared people, but this is the 21st century and I'm 21st century guy. Then why do you hate 4 so much? 'Cause it's a half-ass number. What do you mean half-ass? Not the best or the worst. That's why. What? 9 is a way better number. So what if it's last place, right? At least it's not some lame-ass middle number. What are you even talking about? Santa's explanation made no sense. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly my thoughts. Junpei was even more confused than before. You play? Play? You mean like... What do you mean like... What, you mean like play the stock market? Gambling? You mean like gambling, I guess? Here, I guess it doesn't really matter which one you will choose, because it never is mentioned for the true ending path. Oh yeah, of course. What else would I mean? In Baccarat, the best possible hand totals 9. They call it Legrand. But the lowest, most worthless cards, the zeros, right? They call monkey. Just like the guy in charge of this game, huh? 0 is a monkey. Santa blinked, utterly stunned. Then he began to laugh. Oh man, you're totally right. The guy who trapped us in here sure is one hell of a monkey. That was when Lotta spoke up. You know, if you think about it, the Nonary game is really a lot like Baccarat. Apparently she's been listening. Really? Of course it doesn't use any of that stupid digital root junk. You just drop the 10th digit and that's it. Still, it does have the same idea of your final number needing to be a single digit. Oh, yeah, I guess you got a point. And in both games, whoever has 9 wins. The person who makes 9 wins? Did you forget already? Yeah, I think he said something in the door with 9. Don't you remember that 0 side? The exit is hidden, but it is here. Seek the exit. Seek the door that carries a 9. So, if we want to get out of this boat, we have to make a team whose numbers have the digital root of 9. And only the people in that team are going to make it out alive. Of course. That's why it's called the Nonary game. What? Huh? You don't know? Nonary means something derived from 9 or base 9. It derived from Latin prefix nona, which means 9. While we are at it, the prefix for 1 is uni. You know, like unicorn, the horse with one horn. 2 is bi, like binary. Because I have no idea. Binary, right? Means composed of 2 parts. 3 is tri. I'm sure you've heard that one plenty. Like trio, triple, the triangle. You get the idea. After that you have quart, quinty, sext, septime, and so on. And of course the prefix for 8 is octo, like octopus. It's called that because of it has 8 legs. Get it? I see. So then nona means 9. So how many of us are trapped on this shape? That'd be 9. And what are the bracelet numbers we have? It's actually 8 now because one of the persons there is dead. And our time limit? Oh, that's what you're going to, okay. And finally, to get out of the ship, we need to find the door with a 9 that's hidden somewhere in the ship by making a team with a digital route out of 9. And there you have it. The number 9 is everywhere in this game. He's got a real theme of 9s for this whole thing. No wonder it's called the Nonary game. Oh, now it makes sense. This is interesting. Somewhere far away, Jumpy heard the creak of stressed metal. It sounded almost like Zero laughing at them, or the sad, desperate scream of a pig headed to the slaughterhouse. Oh my god, that's not cool. Okay. We have a bathroom here. And no curtain. Oh no, I didn't want to search it. Sorry about that. I just imagine them actually spending time to, hang that curtain there. They have limited time. Huh. Wow, that's a pretty obvious peephole. Somebody's really dedicated. Well, with a hole this big, you gotta wonder if maybe they wanted to be caught. So you're saying maybe the one getting spied on was into that shit? Maybe they were into, like, those home invasion fantasies? Home invasion? Interesting. I see. You two are real idiots, you know that? Wait, I believe you should... There is a hole in the curtain. I can see that. If I look at it from the waist back, I can see a single tile. Alright, from here I can see what tile it is. Looks like it's 5th from the top and 3rd from the right. We probably have to check out the same tile in another room. You're going back already? Well, I can't just leave June there by herself. What do you think you're her, or her knight or her protector or something? You're creeping me out. Whatever, man. I'm going. Someone is jelly. Yeah, can you just shut up? What are you mumbling about, Jumpy? Oh, sorry. Could you be quiet for a minute? I don't want to forget this. Wow, that was rude. Here it is. Yes, it's one loose. I think I could get under this with my nails. And yes! We found 3 tiles. Okay, let's go back. So I guess I'm supposed to put tiles in the empty spaces. Alright, I'm gonna give it a shot. What? Okay. Okay. Then bottom right with top right. Okay, seems already pretty much legit to me. Rotate the top left. Oh, okay. Bingo. Yes, I did it. There. Picture complete. And there goes the frame. What's this? What do you mean, what's this? Pretty obvious, isn't it? It's a hole in the wall. Like a hidden safe or something, you know. Anyway, let's take a look. I think there's something inside. Something really small. Oh, a key. Oh! We found a door with a Mars sign on it. Jumpy messed around a bit with the key he had and looked blankly at the picture that slid down. What's the deal with the picture anyway? Sand had only been mumbling to himself, but it drew Lotus's attention. She looked at the picture and paused. I think I've seen this picture before. Where? Damn it. In a book. There's a British biochemist named Sheldrake. He has a rather interesting theory. I saw this picture in his book. What's this interesting theory? Morphogenetic field, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance. Man, I can't deal with this. Just listening to you talk about it is giving me a headache. Santa put his hands on his head, and as though he were in great pain, Lotus merely arched an eyebrow in his direction and continued. It's not a difficult concept to grasp. In essence, he states that the shapes of living organisms and their behavioral patterns are transmitted through a field non-visible to the eye. What part of that isn't difficult exactly? Lotus did not look pleased. Wow, she doesn't really look like a smart kind, you know. Theory of telepathic mechanism. Telepathy? Yes, telepathy. Well, perhaps not exactly telepathy, but it is close enough for a simple approximation. Santa suddenly burst into laughter. Are you serious? Telepathy? Who do you think we are? Kids from 70th? I can't believe someone would actually do serious research or something like that. Yes, I agree. Lotus's response was surprisingly curt. Junpei had expected at least some conflict. I read the book, but I can hardly say I understood it. I'm in no position to defend or condemn anything it said. It was probably just someone latching on to a statistical outlier from some study and turning it into a ridiculous theory. There's no scientific merit to any of it, I'm sure. But even so, Anyway, I saw a picture like that one in his book. Lotus indicated the picture they'd all been looking at. After a moment, she walked up to the strange picture, examined it, and then spoke. Hey, what do you think this picture looks like? What do you mean? Isn't it just like abstract or something like that? It's just black and white scribbles. There's no meaning there. That's it. What about you, Junpei? Does it look like anything to you? I don't know. I guess it looks like... What is a koi? A butterfly? Man's face? That's interesting because since it's not really blind playthrough for me because I played this game but I was taking another route, my own, that playthrough was the first and blind for me. But I haven't been in this room because I was going totally different path again. And well, I am referring to a playthrough right now to actually go for a true ending here. And it says that we should pick up a dog option, but it doesn't say that it's like necessary to get the true ending. But since it just says I should pick it up, I will. I don't really have any other options because I don't know what to think about this picture. Maybe a dog? See, you've got the head here, and these are the front paws, and these are the back paws. Junpei traced the black contours. Oh! Huh. Wow! See? Oh, I see it. I guess you've got the point. Wow. Sadi, despite his constant aloofness, was clearly impressed. Junpei glanced over at Lotus. She looked stunned. How did you know? You're right. I didn't think you would have been able to guess that. For a brief moment, Junpei felt a swell of pride. So? Now we know what it's a picture of, but I don't see how that helps us. Lotus nodded and began to speak. A TV show from Great Britain did an experiment once. They took two similar pictures. Both of them were difficult to identify initially, but once you'd figured out the answer, you couldn't see it as anything else. The first picture was a woman wearing a hat. The other one, well, to make it easier, let's just say it was a picture of a dog. So, their experiment. First, they sent the pictures to other parts of the world where British radio and television didn't reach. To Ireland, the US, Africa, Europe, etc. Then in each country, they gathered a number of test subjects. All in all, there were roughly 1,000 people. Those 1,000 people were shown the two pictures and asked, what does this picture look like to you? The results, in and of themselves, were not terribly interesting. 9.2% of people saw the lady in the lady picture. 3.9% saw the dog in the dog picture. Then, 2 days later, they broadcast a new show. During the 30-minute show, they broadcast the dog picture and its solution. The audience was estimated to be 200,000 people. After the broadcast, it could be assumed that the number of people who knew the solution to the dog picture now totaled over 200,000 people. After another 2 days had passed, they gathered a number of research subjects from areas where British TV and radio did not exist. This time they were only able to find a sample of roughly 850 people. Naturally, none of them were people who had participated in the first test. They were, however, given the same test and the same 2 pictures. The results were shocking. 10% of people saw the lady in the picture. The previous test has laid a 9.2 success rate. The change was not statistically significant. Indeed, the dog picture, however, produced a very different result. The percentage of people able to successfully find the dog grew from 3.9 to 6.8. Oh, really? I still wouldn't say so. Not even half. Like twice, not even twice of increasement. So, do you understand? Do you realize the significance of this experiment? There was no way the second group could have seen the picture. They lived far away from Britain and couldn't have seen the picture. It was just the, second experiment. It was just I don't know, by luck or something. Okay. Why? How did that happen? What does it mean? Lotus looked back and forth from Jumpy and Santa and back again. Normally calm and collected, she looked now as though she were very nearly possessed, and there was something manic about her manner. Santa took an involuntary step back. Jumpy didn't budge and stared straight back into Lotus's eyes. Does this have anything to do with that field or whatever it was that you were talking about earlier? A field not visible to the eye? So if more people know the answer, then that information will pass through the field? Psych. Her manner suddenly shifted and Lotus smiled broadly at Jumpy and Santa. She waved her hand dismissively, doing her best to laugh the whole confrontation off. Oh, I was just kidding. You really shouldn't take me seriously. Well, I mean, the things I just told you about are true. They really did happen. But the results of that experiment really aren't anything to go by. They could have easily falsified them. In the end, I'm sure they were just in it for the ratings. They are a TV station after all. At last it seemed that Santa has gained control of his composure. Right. Man, I gotta admit you had me there for a minute. I really thought you were serious. Of course not. Like I told you before, I'm sure it's all just pseudoscience. Oh, okay, right? Santa and Lotus laughed and gave one another jovial claps on the shoulder. Jumpy, however, didn't feel so much like laughing. Something felt wrong and clear. All right, enough nonsense. We've got the key, let's get out of here. Word. Lotus and Santa were okay. But Jumpy stayed staring at the picture of the dog. A field not visible to the naked eye. Morphogenetic field. The more he thought about it, the more his head hurt. Interesting, huh? Alright, let's go to the hallway. I'll go get June. You guys head to the door. Okay. Good job, Junpei. Good, now we can get it going. Come on, what are you guys standing around for? Let's get out of here. Come on, Jumpy, let's go. That's what I'm doing. Nailed it. They stepped through the door to find themselves in a wide hallway. Jumpy, June, Lotus, and Santa stopped for a moment and looked at their surroundings. Looks more like a prison to me. A short distance away, a metal grate extended across the width of the hallway. They took hold and shook, but it refused to move. Nearby was a pair of elevators. It took only a few buttons presses to determine that the elevators would not respond to their efforts. They could only assume the elevators were not powered. There was only one door left. Well, looks like we don't have any choice. Yeah, sure does. Well then, let's open it. Jumpy grabbed hold of the knob and quietly pushed the door open. A kitchen. He entered slowly, trying to take in as much of his surroundings as he could. The others followed shortly. Oh, so it's a kitchen. Santa did not look pleased. What were you expecting? Isn't it obvious? The exit. I was hoping this would be the way out of here. It's too early for that. Excuse me? Hey, you really think it'd be that easy? Yeah, I know, still. As they talked, Lotus headed deeper into the room. Until at last she stood in front of a door. If we can just get through this door, we should come out of the other side of that grate we saw earlier. But don't we need a key for that? Sorry, I guess that wasn't very constructive. Neither Jumpy nor Lotus looked terribly happy. Jumpy dug the ship map from his pocket and spread it out in front of him. As he did... Hey, what's that? Huh? Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to tell you. I found this a little while ago. It's a map of the B deck. Before Jumpy could finish, Lotus snatched the map away from him. She ran her finger across it, muttering to herself, I knew it. See? Look. Jumpy did as he was told. Santa and June moved over to look at the map as well. See? We came in here. If we go out there, then we'll be on the other side of the grate. With her finger, Lotus traced a path on the map. She was right. Satisfied that she had been correct, Lotus folded the map and handed it back to Jumpy. He took it and slid the valuable piece of paper back into his pocket. There's a card reader on the right side of the door. Then that means the key card is somewhere in here, right? That seems the most likely. Alright, we know what we need to do then. Let's get moving. First off, I say we split up and look for clues. Okay. Again. We just did it. Come on. Okay. The voucher says appetizer 9, meat dish 10, soup A, seafood dish F. Huh. One, two, three, there's 10 of them. If you flip these over, they look like hats. The middle is super deep for plate. They're soup plates. They're made that way for that the soup doesn't spill. If we ever get out of here, you should treat yourself to a nice dinner out. What makes you think a poor college student has the money to do something like that? Remember, appetizers usually come on square plates. Okay, well, excuse me, princess. Nice. I like repeating that myself. Okay, I guess this is actually a hint to something later. Whetstone. Okay, nothing else in here. This is pantry. How interesting. A knife. A rusty knife. I don't think we'll be able to use it while it's like this. The knife seemed important, Jumpy thought, but it wasn't going to be much use the way it was. It's futile. Futile? You know, a waste, useless, pointless. Oh. Any particular reason you wanted to bring that up? Oh, no reason really. I was just thinking about futility. She wasn't making much sense. Like any of you guys. Junpei tried rephrasing his question. Why were you thinking about futility? At last she answered. Well, it has something to do with the Titanic. Again? Yeah. Have you ever heard the story that the sinking of the Titanic was predicted? Let me just check it out. It doesn't really matter what you answer, but okay. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. There was a novel that had a bunch of stuff in it that described the sinking of the Titanic before it actually sank. Yeah, that's the one. The title of the novel is Futility. It was written 14 years before the Titanic sank. But I know. I mean, I didn't know the name of the book, but the story was the same, right? It was just like what happened on the Titanic. Yeah. Well, I heard it was all a hoax. A hoax? I heard that the stuff was matched up to the Titanic so well was actually added after it sank. Apparently the only thing that was the same originally was that a boat ran into the iceberg and sank. But the novel was published in 1898, 14 years before the accident. Like I said, that was the first print of the book. 14 years later, the author heard about what happened to the Titanic. He figured that was his chance, you know. He just went back and changed some stuff to his novel, so that it matched the Titanic exactly. Surprised by the Junpei's response, June seemed rather taken aback. Really? Really? There's no such thing as premonitions or any of that stuff. For a moment, didn't I just answer before that I kind of believe in these things? For a moment, June looked very unhappy, more so that Junpei thought was normal for such a discussion. But it lasted only a moment. With no apparent reason, she suddenly looked up at him, alarmed. But That wasn't the only book that predicted the Titanic sinking. It wasn't? Yeah. There were two other similar stories written by a man named William Thomas Stead, both of them before the accident, one in 1886 and one in 1892. Stead wrote two stories that had striking similarities to Titanic disaster. In one, two ships collided, and many of the passengers died because there weren't enough lifeboats. In the other, a ship collided with an iceberg and sank. I don't know, I mean, I'll give you that it seems a little weird, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't too uncommon for ships to hit icebergs back in the day, or even other ships. Right, I knew you'd say that. But what if Stead, I have no idea, had some sort of special powers? To be more specific, what if he had the ability to automatic writing? What? Automatic writing? Wait, are you talking about the thing where someone says you are possessed by a spirit and then they write a bunch of stuff without knowing what they write? Oh, I saw it in one of, creepy movies. Yes. What do you mean, yes? That stuff's a load of bull. But Jumpy, you said you believe in curses. Yeah. So that's kind of stupid that he says this. Come on, that's totally different. Okay, so let's say hypothetically that automatic writing isn't a total load. That's stupid. I just hate when people believe in something and do not believe in something else. That's ridiculous. You either believe or not. I mean, if you accept the possibility of existing of something unlike supernatural, then why do you just do not accept existence of something else? This guy still couldn't have predicted the sinking of the Titanic. When the sad dude wrote his thing, nobody had died on the Titanic yet. So if automatic writing is about being possessed by spirits of dead people, who the hell possessed him so he could write that stuff? That's not it. What's not it? Stead wasn't possessed by a spirit. He was doing the whatever. What are you smoking? William Thomas Stead was a passenger on the Titanic. He just wrote down what he saw with his own eyes. What? 20 years before it happened. Wait, did he die there? Or not? He decided it was probably best to say nothing. What June was saying was insane and utterly absurd. If he tried to take what she was saying seriously, he'd go mad. Jimpy smiled uncomfortably. Well, why don't we talk about this some other time, okay? Huh? But wow. That look on her face. Her voice trailed off and she glanced at the floor, troubled. Jimpy tapped the June gently on the shoulder and awkwardly reached around her to pick up the knife from the box. Okay. Nice. Can actually make it more sharp. Not half bad, huh? Hey, there's something behind the cheese. You're right. Why don't we move some of the cheese? Alright guys, time to move it. Bottle of oil. I was okay. Silver? I bet drinking tea from this spot would be really yummy. Spending a day off with June drinking tea. Could such a day even ever happen to me? Jumpy? Oh, nothing. We don't really need hot water, so we should be moving on. Rusted. That's where our oil is coming. And help. Just a little bit of oil and... Come on, you little son of a bitch. Wow. Ha, yes. Got you, little bastard. You did it, Jumpy. You're so smart. Ha, yeah, I am. As Jumpy walked into the room, a blast of cold air washed over him. Almost instinctively, he folded his arms tight across his chest, doing what he could to conserve body heat. Okay, let me just check one thing. Okay. It's cold in here. What is this place? Are you blind? It's a freezer. Santa's teeth had already begun to chatter. Hardly surprising. The freezer was far too cold for someone dressed as he was. Lotus, however, was in an even worse situation. Oh, no way. That's way too cold for me. I'll freeze solid in seconds. Sorry, but I'm afraid I'll have to pass on this one. I'm going to leave the rest to you. And with that, she ran out of the room. As Lotus left, June came in. Wow, it's really cold in here. White puffs of steam hovered in front of their faces as they talked. June had already started to shiver. Hey, you don't need to be in here. You had a fever just a little bit ago. You should stay outside. We got this. No, I'm fine. My fever is gone now. But Jumpy had scarcely opened his mouth when the thunderous sound of metal upon metal rang out from behind them. In unison, they spun around to find that door they had only recently come through. Wow, that's not a good thing. It was closed. Jumpy rushed to the door. Desperately, he grabbed hold of the doorknob. Ow! It was cold beyond cold. Merely touching it was painful. The doorknob has been frozen solid. They quickly deduced that the pipe next to the door had ruptured. Water released by the rupture had hit the door and frozen instantly. Santa showed Jumpy aside and pounded against the door. Hey, Lotus, you're out there, right? Open the door. She wasted no time in responding. What do you want? What's going on? The door won't open. You open it from that side. I mean, try, please. Fine, if you say so. Hold on. It's not gonna happen, right? Soon they could hear Lotus on the other side of the door. And the grunting ceased, and they could hear light panting as if from exertion. It's no use, it won't budge. You've got more people in there, you figure it out. Smartass. God damn it. Santa was shaking like a newborn deer. June was hugging herself and was shivering violently. Even Junepie, with the heaviest clothes of any of them, was clearly feeling the cold. With every breath they took, they could feel the cold working its way deeper and deeper into their bodies. Anyway, let's find a way out. If we don't get moving, we are gonna be permanent residents. Two heads are better than none. I'm sure we'll figure out something. Yeah, you're right. Let's just take a good look around this room, okay? Right. They pushed in close to one another and began to search. Whew. That's just not cool. Sturdy rope. There's so much stuff in here. Why don't we take some of it out, Jumpy? That's what I'm trying to do, okay? Water bottle, I mean. Oh, I guess that's all we can get there. Pork. Huh? What's this? It looks like a tag or something. Dry ice. Jumpy picked up the dry ice with his sleeve so as to avoid burning himself. Dry ice is just frozen carbon dioxide, right? Yeah, it is. I wonder how warm it has to get for it to run back into gas again. Hell if I know. How's that gonna help us anyway? Oh well, I figured we might be able to use it to get out of here. They were about to move on when June spoke up. Carbon dioxide's sublimation point is minus 109 degrees. Any warmer than that and it'll turn into gas. Any lower and it becomes a solid. Jumpy looked at her dumbfounded. How do you know that? Teehee. Despite my looks, I'm the queen of random knowledge. Looks bad to mess up when you're showing off. What? What's going on? Oh, you're so cold your mouth going numb. Yeah. That's right. You're just doing that on purpose, aren't you? June giggled and did her best to hide her guilt. At least she was still feeling good enough to joke around, Jumpy told himself. Come on, guys. Don't you think that's kind of weird? I wonder why it doesn't turn into a liquid first. Santa was now shivering at an astounding rate, but his curiosity seemed unaffected. Jumpy, however, was not in the mood to discuss science. Strange, but says, I guess we should say it did strike Jumpy as rather odd. Because we need to listen to what, they have to say to get the true ending. Because if you say, like, we need to get out of here, we will skip this conversation and, well, it did seem rather odd to Jumpy and he couldn't help but think about it. June answered, but it can turn into a liquid. Carbon dioxide turns into a liquid if you put it under high enough pressure. But at 1 atmosphere normal air pressure, it won't turn into a liquid, right? That's right. Instead of melting, it'll do what's called sublimating, change immediately from a solid state 2 gaseous. 1. See, that is weird. Water is a liquid between 32 degrees and 212 degrees Fahrenheit. So why isn't that the case for carbon dioxide? June replied with an answer that stunned both of them. There's a kind of ice that doesn't turn into a liquid when it goes above 32 degrees. I heard about it. Its melting point is 96 degrees. Ice with melting point of... Wow. You mean there's water that freezes at 96 degrees? Yeah. Well, you could also look at it as ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees. Water that freezes at... Okay. It's not really water, it's probably some kind of liquid. Ice that won't melt... Okay. Junpei was cold as hell, but this was too interesting to ignore. He did his best to warm up by rubbing his arms and stamping his feet, then put the question to June. So what's with the ice? What's this ice with melting point of 96 degrees called? I heard it's called Ice 9. How interesting. Originally, Ice 9 was made-up substance invented by a science fiction author, but recently scientists have discovered that such a substance actually exists. Wait, hold up. So is this thing called Ice 9? Or is it water? Like I said, if the ice is over 96 degrees, it'll be a liquid. If it's under that, it'll be solidify. It will. So you could think of it as a polymorph of H2O. Here, think of it like diamonds and graphite, whatever. They're both made of carbon, right? But depending on the structure of the crystallization, the hardness and structure are completely different. So you're saying normal water and this Ice 9 are like that? Yep. She wasn't finished. Have you heard the story about crystallization of glycerine? For 150 years after the discovery of glycerine, people cooled it, warmed it, and did all sorts of things to it. But whatever they did, it never crystallized. However, one day in 1920, some glycerine that was en route to England by ship was discovered to have crystallized during the trip. Naturally, scientists worldwide wanted to research this new crystallized form of glycerine and began asking for samples of the seed. A seed, of course, a sample of the original crystallized subject. With a seed crystal, further crystallization of glycerine would be a simple matter. However, something very strange happened. Not only did the glycerine encouraged by seed crystals begin to crystallize, nearby samples did as well. It didn't end there. After that day, all glycerine in the world began to crystallize naturally when cooled to less than 64 degrees. Before that day, no matter how glycerine was cooled, it refused to crystallize. But once the crystallization had begun, it was almost like, how do I put it? It was almost like all the glycerine in the world was communicating in some way that we can't sense. Wow. Impressed. I'm actually impressed. It was in fact a pretty interesting story. It's pretty interesting, but what does that have to do with Ice 9? To his surprise, it was Santa and not June who answered. What she's saying is that it's a lot like Ice 1. What happened, I mean. A lot like? What would... What? I can't check out previous sentences. Okay. Water everywhere started freezing at 96 degrees. Man, it'd be the end of the world. Junpei felt that Santa might not be treating the idea of the end of the world with the proper concern. At any rate, we are not gonna have to worry about the end of the world unless we can get out of here pretty damn quick. He was right, Junpei shivered. Alright guys, I think that's enough of that. I didn't think we'd get quite this far off topic. I mean, I know I'm kinda at fault here, but we can't be screwing around anymore. Seriously. I might go by the name Santa right now, but I didn't grow up in Iceland. I freaking hate the cold. So let's get cracking, alright. I kind of feel like you hate everything. We gotta find a way out of here. Santa stomped off, clearly doing his best to pretend the cold wasn't affecting him. Selfish, isn't he? Selfish, isn't he? Thought Junpei to himself. Still, Santa was right, and it was high time they got back to their search. The story of Ice 9 had him interested, but there'd be time to think about that once they'd gotten out of the freezer. Junpei looked at June, nodded, and resumed the search of the room. I think I didn't check everything here. Frozen chicken. Okay. Alright, the dry ice is all in pieces now. Okay, this is actually... I have no idea how I was supposed to get that. Oh well. Crumbled dry ice. Now we can combine it with bottle of water. I'm gonna put these pieces of dry ice into water bottle. So was that bottle actually empty? Whatever. Water bottle bomb. Okay. No, that's not what I want. No, damn it. Warm water dripped from the ruptured pipe near the door. Junpei pulled out the water bottle filled with dry ice, let a good amount of water fall in, and then quickly sealed it up tight. The makeshift bomb complete, he tied it to the doorknob and quickly as he could managed in the cold. Alright, that's set. So what do we do now? We just need to give it a little tap. The bottle's already about to pop. If we just throw a rock or something in it, it'll be okay. Scattered across it were pieces of dry ice left over from the larger chunk he had crushed earlier. Alright, this ought to do the trick. Okay, let's do it. Figured it would be just about the right size. Actually, we should probably hide somewhere. Both Santa and June looked at him with a new concern. Where exactly do you expect us to hide, genius? There isn't really anywhere... freezer? Oh, cellar. Right. Get inside, quick. Jumpy quickly followed. In his hand he could feel the chill of the frozen carbon dioxide even through his sleeve. He tightened his grasp, took aim, and then prepared to throw. Alright, there it goes. 3, 4, 5. You're counting the wrong way. Whoops. That is a really sad excuse for a joke, man. Sorry, dude. Alright, for real this time. You guys ready? Yes. Whenever you're ready. Just throw the damn thing. Alright, here I go. Jumpy threw the chunk of dry ice as hard as he could. With the same motion, he dug down the cellar, into the cellar with Santa and June, just as. Jumpy leaped up out of the cellar and ran to the door. Jumpy, the ice on the door, is it gone? Yeah, it's gone. The blast must have shattered it. Yeah. Alright, let's see if it opens. Jumpy grabbed the knob and pushed with all his might. The door gave way easily and all three of them tumbled out of the freezer at once. Hooray! We're out! June, relieved, collapsed onto the floor. Move! Wow. Santa showed past Jumpy and ran straight to the grill, which he immediately grabbed. Oh, god damn it. He proceeded to kick the grill in a futile but amusing feat of rage. But where was Lotus? It took Jumpy only a moment to find her. She was sitting on the counter, idly scratching her chest. What? Welcome back. I was starting to get tired of waiting, you guys. Wow. Really? With a great yawn, Lotus lowered herself off of the counter. Jumpy clenched his teeth and walked toward her. What were you doing? What do you mean, what was I doing? I was waiting. We were gonna die. Oh yeah? But you didn't. So everything worked out alright, didn't it? What the hell? Just kidding. It might not look like it, but I was really worried. Don't give me that crap. Crap. Whatever. I'm telling the truth. I mean, if you died, then I'd be in trouble too. If you died, then I'd be stuck here and I'd die too. See? I mean, yeah. We still have to be together to actually get away from here. I did all I could. I even looked around to see if there was anything I could use to pry open the door, but I couldn't find anything, so all I could do was wait. I mean, what else did you want me to do? Call the cops? It was true that there wasn't much she could have done, but something about her tone. Jumpy grated his teeth. Fine, but there's one thing I have to ask you. What's that? You didn't close the door, did you? What? You think I closed the door on you? Why would I do something like that? It closed on its own. I told you before, if you die, then I die too. She was right, and Jumpy knew it. Without them, she'd be in a very serious trouble. It seemed that an accident was the only explanation for the door's closure. If Lotus had really wanted to kill them, all she would have had to do was bar the door from the outside. And she hadn't. Well, she hadn't done anything. What could she do from the other side? You know the reason the door locked? I mean, we don't know the reason it was locked, but we know the reason why it couldn't be opened easily. It was from their side. I mean, sorry about that. The most she was guilty of that laziness or negligence, not attempted murder. Junpei swallowed his anger and did his best to apologize. Well, I'm sorry. I doubted her. You? Oh, yes, well, that's all right, as long as you understand. Lotus looked away and twirled her hair between her fingers. His vengeance against the gorilla complete, Santa swaggered back toward Junpei and Lotus. Hey, no more screwing around, you two. Break time's over, especially for you, lady. You have just been sitting on that fat ass of yours. Wow, well, we were freezing to death. How rude. I was plenty busy. Yeah. How about you put all that energy into something besides bitching? Let's go. Okay. You guys are swearing a lot. Well, who am I to say? Jumpy? You could probably heat stuff up in there now, Huh? Okay, let's try. Guess I'll put the meat on the grill. Hey, what are you doing? What are you going to do if the paper burns? Come on, be fine. I mean, it's not like it's gonna burn right away, right? We just gotta keep an eye on it and the paper will be fine. Well, they can argue all they want. I'm gonna keep an eye on this pork. Cool, looks like it's all... Can we eat it? Gotta try taking the paper out. Jumpy, be careful. Sweet of her to care, but I know what I'm... Ouch! Oh, man. See? I told you. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Hurry up and take the paper out. It's not coming out. This thing's frozen stiff. I can't get it out. So are you going to have to cut the meat? Yeah, looks like... that's why we needed this knife. Yes, I cut the pork. Awesome, Junpei. Now we can cut out the paper. Okay. This is the second part of that hint we had to find. The first hint we found in the beginning of this, when we came to this room, I mean. Okay. What do I have to actually just put this piece of what? Whoa, I see a code panel. Okay. This is probably what you're supposed to use to enter the password. I think A is for enter and C is for clearing. Okay, so basically, yeah. Okay, so combining two hints, we will get C, which 12, plus 10, which here is actually 16, plus F, which is 15. If we add 12 plus 16 plus 15, it will be 43. Sounds like metal is falling. Well, I guess that went well. So now it's open. Yeah, the door opened. Good job, Jumpy. Saturn. So where was that door? Hey Santa, could you open the door, please? What the hell? There's no way I could open that thing. Guess you're getting to that age where your eyes start to go, huh? You'd better watch your mouth, boy, or someone won't live long enough to see that door open. This has got the two of them on edge. You gotta get out of here and fast. Wait. Oh, there it is. You did it, Jumpy. Let's get out of here. Let's. Okay. You know what, guys? I think it... Oh, sorry about that. I think it's actually enough for today. It's been... some puzzles and... yeah, a lot of talking. I really need to take some rest because... from here... there's supposed to be a lot of text and I'm just not ready to read it. My throat is already in pain. So yeah, we will continue in the next part. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and I'll see you in the next part. Bye.